Yo, what's up, family? How y'all doing? Look, so another one of my students got arrested again. Not arrested, but they got their car taken away. And they kept asking me, man, Taquan, how can they do that? Like, I told them I'm sovereign. You know, I'm on the do not detain list. And I asked them, I say, let me read your citation. Of course, the citation had the address, but the person deregistered a vehicle. But guess what they messed up on? They had the county sticker on the car, and that was proof of ownership by the state, and they was able to gain jurisdiction over the vehicle and take the vehicle. A lot of you guys, when I made that post last night, when I was talking about the maritime jurisdiction and territorial jurisdiction, that was a deep explanation on if you reside or claim to reside in any of the territories that belongs to the United States, which is the federal corporation. So if you claim to reside in one of the federal states, or the United States, or live in one of their fictitious addresses, then you will subject yourself to the jurisdiction. I can't stress this enough, because so many people coming out with all these methods, and it's total bullshit. I found out about all this stuff the hard way, and I want you guys to figure out the easy way. Me figuring out the hard way was me being charged with a felony possession of a firearm. Some of you guys get caught with no license. That's a slap on the wrist. That's good. That's the best time to learn, because I couldn't learn with a misdemeanor charge. I had to learn with a felony charge. So everybody just take it with a grain of salt, and also you're gonna overcome it. The main thing about it is just start understanding, start reading on it. Really listen to the videos that I be talking about. Like, listen to everything I be saying, because it's not that hard to really understand it. It's really not. It's just everybody overthink it. They say, oh, so if I get the license and I change the address, do they get them jurisdiction? You got to understand the whole thing. If, say for instance, when you go surrender a license, right? Let's say you surrender it, right? People will be like, oh, my contract is done, right? Now check this out. They will have another contract that they're in possession of. Like, look at the front of your car, right? You see this sticker right there? Now, this sticker is not a state sticker, right? It's not, what's that called again? We know when they do a maintenance, not a maintenance, what is it? Like, when they do an inspection on your vehicle every year, they give you a sticker from the state. So that's like when you re-register your vehicle, they put a sticker on your state, and the state own that. So if you walk riding around with that sticker, they get them jurisdiction as well. Most of the time when you're driving on a private plate, what the police usually do, they'll look for your VIN. It should be on the side of the vehicle, and they'll see your VIN like on the side, and they'll pull the VIN up. The VIN number is gonna have the exact address that you live at. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you something crazy, right? So I called the DMV, right? And this is what I really want to get to. So I called the DMV, and when I said, hey guys, you got my because at first I went to the DMV, right? When I went to the DMV, I wrote out my address that was on my driver's license. I put, surrender, and I put the address. I put rural free delivery, and I put the city as non-domestic, right? So once I did that and submitted, she said, sir, you have to put your correct address on there. I said, what do you mean? This is my address. She said, So I said, go in the system. You can find out, right? So when she went in the system and typed it up, she said, okay. I said, you see it's valid, right? She like, yeah. Now, people don't even know that you can update all of your addresses on the DMV website. You got to understand what criminal charges is. You have to be able to serve an individual. That's how you can create jurisdiction. Like, say, for instance, a lawsuit is not valid until you are served the lawsuit. But the only people that can serve a lawsuit are either the sheriff or the U.S. Marshal. If they are unable to serve a lawsuit, that person cannot be sued. That's how it works, for real, in this jurisdiction. So say, for instance, if I was to put, I live in a rural free delivery, you cannot serve a warrant to that address. And you also cannot serve a lawsuit to that address. So therefore, you don't have jurisdiction over that individual. That's why I make sure that the registration is in the rural free area. That's why I made sure my driver's license is in the rural free area. Now I still got tickets on it, so they're not trying to allow me to surrender my license, but it doesn't matter. I've been had license in the state, and they don't do nothing to me. I never get them jurisdiction anyway. But I did update the address that's on file. So when they see the address, I'm outside of their jurisdiction. That's the main thing that police look for. They say, man, what address? What address? So that's why I don't ride around with mail or anything like that. And actually, I advise a lot of you guys do not receive any mail that's coming to your house. Don't do none of that. Right? So I called the DMV up, right? Who deal with like the plates and everything. And I asked them how you guys receive my, surrender of driver's license. They said, no, we wouldn't have received it yet. It's only been a day. You got to wait a while. I'm like, okay. And so I'm in the process right now of canceling out my plates. But my plates is in the private, rural free delivery. The city non-domestic zip code is all zeros. And you want to maintain that at all times. You really want to maintain it. I don't drive around with nothing owned by the state, but I make sure that when they run the VIN number, they don't see a fictitious address on file. So they're able to leave me alone. You feel me? So that's how that works. So just study, y'all. Really understand where I'm coming from. Really learn how to live in the private. And a lot of you guys come to me talking about authentication of birth certificate. I don't deal with that, please. Whoever taught you guys that, go with them. Just listen to everything they tell you. If they tell you anything about authenticating a birth certificate, anything about affidavit of sovereignty, if they teach you anything about, let's say, you exercising your rights, they bullshitting. They bullshitting you. And I'm not saying they intentionally trying to deceive you. It's just everybody have not advanced to the full understanding of what this whole thing is. And it's so simple. It has everything to do with the territorial jurisdiction. Every criminal complaint has your address on it. Every time the police try to establish jurisdiction, they need your address. Because in order to file criminal charges, which is also called a criminal lawsuit, you have to be able to serve that criminal lawsuit amongst the person address. If there's no address on file, you cannot charge that individual due to the fact that you cannot serve him to the address. And that's how that works, y'all. I'm out, man. I'm gone.